This is KCR, the sound of state.
Just take a nice breath in. Exhale that breath. Just allow yourself now to relax more and more. Because from this moment in time, there's nothing of importance for you to do except relax. Relax.
Hey humans, welcome to Scarlett Show Season 3, Episode 5. This is your host, Scarlett Santa Maria, keeping you up to date with San Diego's electronic music world. I'm a little sick, by the way, so if I sound extra manlier than usual, now you know. I sound like the real me now. If you haven't tuned in to the live stream yet, you should do it right now and just search for Scarlett Show on Facebook. And I would tell you all about last weekend. It was Pride, as many as you know, and I worked all the days at Riches. It was pretty crazy and awesome at the same time. And I was just feeding off people's energies. They were just all happy, celebrating love. And I was just amazed at the super creative outfits that I saw the whole weekend. Sunday was actually my favorite because my friends from Soleil had their event on the outside stage, and I was just living for the music and vibes. I didn't realize how much I missed it and how much I needed that. I had a really special moment at the end of my shift that night when I was finally able to join my friends on the dance floor while my homie, who's sitting right in front of me, was playing his super awesome set. And I just felt like a wave of happiness and gratitude for the people around me and just the music and being able to connect through dancing. I swear I was house deprived in my trip to Europe because I didn't really find a strong community of house and techno besides Paris because, of course, they love their techno. But I feel that this trip made me value and love San Diego and my community even more. Nothing will ever compare to home. So now I'd like to introduce my special guest and one of the most passionate people I know, Justin Navalle. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Scarlett. Is this good on the mic?
Yeah, I just get close.
That close?
Just eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sound really good on the mic.
All right.
So, all right, how are you feeling tonight?
It's been a good day.
Yeah, your Sunday set was amazing. I know you've been DJing here and there, and you don't like to label yourself as a DJ. Like, what is your relationship with DJing exactly? Why do you not like that anymore?
I don't think it's that I don't like it. But I started out as a DJ right here at San Diego State with my best friend, Rich Dolahan. So we would carry speakers and amps and CDJs and mixers wherever someone would let us play. And I think, so I love it. We love the music. I guess it's just more, being a little bit more grown up. Mm-hmm. It's just a better lifestyle for me to not be behind the decks as much, kind of be more behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And I enjoy DJing though. I had a great time.
I feel you. That's where I'm at right now because when I started DJing, I was 17. I was just partying a lot, drinking a lot, and kind of like my values changed, and I just don't feel that connection to DJing as much anymore. I kind of like to be more with the crowd and interact with the people. And
it's definitely a special thing. And then having the Soleil guys, I used to go to their parties in University Heights and just ask myself, how can I play with these guys? And also like the ego part of me of like, I can play there.
Yeah, I can do this.
Yeah. So it was kind of a challenge, and I was able to achieve those things. And I think that giving the stage up to somebody else that is really passionate about being a DJ is something that makes me a little bit more happier now.
I agree.
Although I do love getting on the stage.
Yeah, well, you can do a little bit of everything,
but thank
right?
you.
Yeah.
I enjoyed, I think people like the set.
They loved it. And what are your favorite genres to play?
Everything.
I love that.
I think the openness and challenge to be able to play differently is, I think that's what's fun about it for me.
Yeah.
So when we were hungry and wanting to be DJs when I was in college, we wanted to play basically anything that someone else wasn't playing. And then once those people started playing what we were playing, we would change it. Mm-hmm. And that was kind of the way we rolled.
Cool. So something we have in common is that we're both Aztecs. You studied hospitality and tourism management here. How did you get around choosing your major? I know I struggled a lot to find my path.
It was a mix between freaking out at my third or fourth year of college. I was a social science major. I was about to graduate in a year. And then I finally went and saw a counselor, and I was like, so what do I get to do when I grow up or when I graduate? And they laid out some actual jobs, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to be doing that. So, I mean, I had been working at a restaurant since I was 16. I was working at a restaurant in college. I was doing the DJ thing, and I was flipping through the catalog frantically as a junior, about to take all the upper division classes, and then event management came up, and I was like, holy shit, or holy cool, really cool. So I went and met with Carl Winston, who's still the chair of the hospitality and tourism school, and I started taking the lower division classes at age 21, which was actually a blessing in disguise because I had to do internships, and networking was a huge thing about the major, and I got my first internship at House of Blues as a 21-year-old, and I was a DJ, so I was just like,
perfect.
Yeah.
Is that how you transitioned to the electronic music industry? How did you start?
No, there were not really any electronic events going on at that time. Very few. Event Vibe was probably the only.
Yeah, I was gonna say that we also have that in common.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like a rite of passage for people that want to work in the industry here in San Diego.
Yeah,
I feel like I've met a lot of people. We should all put the I Survived Event Vibe live event on Facebook.
Or, I mean, the industry in general, there's not a lot of opportunities, especially back then. So, the doors that were open for me and the experience that I learned through that was real life, really good, and I'm really fortunate that I was able to do that.
That's great. And then you did your amplified access.
Yeah, but I mean that was
happened?
basically with Event Vibe. What happened?
Yeah, why did you leave that behind?
Well, I think in a world where you create and do business with a lot of emotion, you tend to not care about things that might happen in the future. So as a 21 or 22-year-old, doing events for 18 plus, that sounds like a great idea, And 3 years later, when you turn 25 and 26, sometimes you tend to start thinking about other things. Your music taste changes, and if you brand yourself as something that is specifically one age demographic, and you're not wholly passionate about it, 5 years down the road. I mean, granted, I didn't know I was going to feel like that. Then yeah, I mean, sometimes you have to pivot. So that that's what I did. But we did some really cool stuff. I wouldn't change what we did, how we produced it. Yeah. I don't know.
So that's great. You had a good experience, and it was a lot of learning.
I mean, if I looked at all the things I could have done differently, then that'd be, I don't know. It's not really a good way to live.
You can't really
life.
change the past, so you just gotta keep moving forward.
Correct.
So something I really admire about you is how you carry yourself. You always project confidence, and you're really certain about what you have to say. Have you always been like this, or is it something that you have to learn, like that boss mentality?
Is that good?
Yeah, it's great. Were you born this way, or did you learn?
I've definitely always wanted to be responsible for the people around me. I always felt an innate feeling of people that relying on me, whether it's in a team or a baseball team, a football team, and people look around and they say, they have a question of what are we going to do? What should we do? I like to be that person to have that answer, I guess.
I like to be a leader.
Yeah, and I mean from that, being a leader is definitely something I think that has been something that I've been passionate about, and it's all about inspiring people to be able to.
Yeah, and you're really inspiring. I'm sure there's a lot of people that look up to you, just like me.
Thank you.
So, speaking of inspiration, what are some of the things that inspire you the most in life?
I think the base of it is my family, my mom and my dad. Always taught me about music. Family was always important. They worked really hard to give their children a life that they weren't able to experience. And then my my brother, my sister, and my sister-in-law, also, they're all in the kind of service industry, lawyer, police officer, history teacher, major. It's our lives have always been centered around trying to do good by acting, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think I was chosen to be kind of a jester or like a joker and be the fun guy, but turning that into a career, it's been it has its ups and downs, but I think that's what I was that's what I was meant to do.
Yeah, you just feel it and you know.
Yeah, so I mean that as far as like the way you treat people and the way you carry yourself, that's inspired me the most. And then as far as like business wise, I have a whole bunch of mentors that I aspire to be around. I think it's really important, especially in the creative space, to be around people that really like doing really awesome work and they're really awesome to work with. And it's a hard thing to do, especially if you think that sometimes that you're probably better than everyone or smarter than everyone or faster than everyone, and you're waiting for people to kind of catch up to you. That ability to bring people along with you to succeed, obviously making it a team effort, is something that is what good leaders do.
So you've been taking all the knowledge and learning from everyone, and here you are now.
Yeah.
You're doing things.
Still learning, for sure.
Yeah. So this time, I don't have a mix for y'all, but a playlist made by Justin
What's
himself.
In the first
Yeah, so what can we expect to hear in this playlist?
I just took the last 5 songs that I put a heart next to on Spotify.
Oh, I love that.
Is the first one the DJ Quick one?
Yeah.
Started at like
I had a clean version of it, so it's shorter.
The breakdown is the fun part.
Oh,
You said electronic music.
Let's see. So yeah. So this one's 4 minutes. The one you sent me was like 9 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'll just start playing it, and then we'll just go to the next one. So I think we're all excited to listen to his jams, right? It's time to turn it up in the studio. And if you're currently watching the live stream on Facebook, it might mute the songs for copyright, so you can listen on kcr.sdsu.edu.
I'll rap them and
or
you
on
can read my lips.
Yeah, or on the TuneIn app, actually. And we'll be back.
App.
Yeah, we'll be back for the longer interview in 10 minutes. So don't go anywhere. And you're listening to KCR College Radio, the award-winning sound of state.
There's a clean version.
Motherfucking pager going on.
Funny looks, funny stares every time I come around. I'm so ready for whatever, cause it can go down. Cause these streets don't love nobody. Cause these streets don't love nobody. And these streets don't love nobody.
Yeah.
But themselves.
What? Where you got it? I'm just trying to spread love through these Compton streets. Hit DJ quick, need a Compton beat. Lived around and had babies with some Compton freaks. Real beef ass please, you be gone in weeks. Streets like sock, bro, stay on my toes. Lot of start hating when you get in the cash. Every day you just stuff more cash instead. Black, white, hit the shots with a knot. I put my boy on the leg, brought it back like a G. Bro solid, knew some girls back when they so they remember the times Michael Jackson on it. So they flexing on it. Now I think you gotta be mad at me. Keep it cool though, you know my glass hat.
Funny stares every time I come around. I'm so ready for whatever, cause it can go down. Cause these streets don't love nobody. Cause these streets don't love nobody. And these streets don't love nobody but themselves.
Yeah. Now this the kind of beat that
that I might need Dre on. Them 14-hour studio sessions, I'ma stay on. The kind of on that makes you go higher and higher. I sleep when I'm dead, I come alive when I'm tired. Now this the kind of beat I make when I'm just dipping. The bass line sound like my finger set tripping. On what better spot than El Segundo and Central? This the intersection made me make instrumentals. I got haters in the outfield looking at me. I got ladies in the front row looking OG. I got a stiff pair of Levi 501s on my britches and got a when a doggy my I got a working record label. What the hell y'all got? I got Jimmy Purple Haze. What the hell y'all got? And I still own the equipment that brought my deal. Was smart enough to buy multiples because y'all still
funny looks, funny stares every time I come around. I'm so ready for whatever, cause it can't go down. Cause these streets don't love nobody. Cause these streets don't love nobody. And these streets don't love nobody but themselves. Come on, problems gon' come, you gotta deal with them. Fake, stop politicking on real. Talking greasy with him. Snitch right on his partner, they gon' chill with him. Right at his mama house like nothing happened. Cops hit his mama house while his granny napping. Turn to something else, it gotta be a better way. Something else. Cause ballin' just ain't gon' stop no time soon. No, so you might as well get to the money like I do. Funny stares every time I come around. I'm so ready for whatever, cause it can't go down. Cause these streets don't love nobody. Cause these streets don't love nobody. Man, these streets don't love nobody but themselves.
To hell like an iron to a magnet. to hell like an iron to a magnet.
Time to make the club go.
All right. Are you trying to take my job?
All right, we're back on SDSU's KCR Radio.
Yeah.
KCR College Radio, the award-winning sound of state.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of award,
If we have any questions, we can go to the call line.
Just stop. Okay, before I do the
We'd
rest
like
of
to
the
thank
interview,
our sponsors.
do you wanna read the sponsors?
Which?
Here, read it.
Yeah. I'm just kidding. Go ahead, dude. I'm sorry.
Just do it. From the bottom ones.
Are you a fan of podcasts? Make sure to tune in to KCR On Demand, the newest platform of entertainment for your radio hosts here at SDSU. Find us on Apple Podcasts and SoundCloud at KCR College Radio. Also, North Park's Observatory is an amazing venue that you can win tickets to. Coming up, we have Broods with Bad Sounds on March 29th.
Exactly.
Don't do that one. But go to the observatory.
All right, thank you.
It just got taken over by Live Nation.
Yeah, thank you, Justin, for being my co-host. Okay, so I've been saving this question ever since I met you because I didn't want to ruin it. Why do you love The Simpsons so much?
Oh my God. I mean, yeah, it's reminiscent of family. My dad would let us watch it, and then everyone liked it. Like, I don't think my mom likes it very much, but she would deal with it. And it's just like, it was something we would watch every day when, sometime around dinner, and then every Sunday we would watch together the new ones.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And I think that, it just reminds me of family and home, but also makes me laugh, and their satire and storylines. And
do you identify with any character?
No, I don't.
Or do you have a favorite character?
I like Homer, Bart. I like Lisa. I like them all.
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool. And you're also a fan of reading. Is there a book that changed your life that you would recommend to everyone to read?
Changed my life. I feel like every book that a mentor or someone, or like you try to read a self-help book, it like changes your life for, a good 10 minutes to 2 months. But a book, The Power of Myth, It's a really good book that I don't think it changed my life, but it's a book that I read kind of like someone would read the Bible.
Okay. I got to check it out.
Yeah, it basically just breaks down mythological stories, and the Bible included. Not that the Bible is a mythological story.
I mean,
we can.
Yeah. I feel you. Okay, so thank you for that. I want to shift my focus in your projects and the roles you play in the community. And let's start with the deep end. Where did the vision come from to create this brand?
The deep end was Rich and I were DJing downtown, and we were called Stir Crazy, and we were DJing with, Above and Beyond and Afrojack and
Back when Afrojack was
and Eric Priz, like you name it. We were doing that big room sound, and it was really fun. But we were also interested in. We've always been a big fan of John Digweed, progressive house, and that type of sound. And then we wanted a place to be able to play deeper music. It wasn't really anything around. And then a good friend of mine, Nicole Novak, who's been one of my best friends for years. She's a boss. She was managing a space downtown. She let us take Sundays, and then in the spirit of collective effort, I started working with a guy named John Martin, who had a website at the time called Sound Logic. Super great ear for music, knew really good music. And then I knew Luis and Jorge, who were the Office Twins, who are Eric's bigger brothers. And that crew in Chula Vista always had really good taste in music, and we were all friends. So we all decided, instead of trying to do this new thing every Sunday, let's call it the Deep End, and we'll just take shifts. And from there, I started working with Eric more. I think we did like a Justin J show or something. And at that same time, I was still doing like 200 shows a year or 150 shows a year with Event Vibe. And it was just kind of this thing for fun. So then when I started moving, kind of pivoted past working with Event Vibe, the Deep End was still there. I was having fun doing it. We started doing warehouse parties with Chris and Bert, and that was really satisfying, I guess is the word. I felt like we were doing something different at the time, and that's what the Deep End. I mean, the idea of it was to play different our stuff that was going on, to try to turn people on, open their mind to just different music. From that, the homies like Mikey Lyon and Evan Casey and Justin Campbell and Marbs and Tara Brooks and Lee Reynolds and Chris Herrera and I mean the list goes on.
Yeah.
And Dayton, Jimbo, and like everyone basically. We started having them play there because that need was happening in little small places, and we were trying to give it a bigger voice.
Right. And your slogan? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, it's interesting though, because now it's like you hear tech house and deep house in everything.
Basically.
So. And
your slogan is music and art for the underground. But what does the underground exactly mean, or what does it mean to you?
I think that I'm currently rethinking that. So it meant to be different than what was commercial. It didn't mean to be secretive or not accessible. It just meant the sound and the vibe and the message was different. Underserved, I guess. Mm-hmm. So I definitely want to start pivoting towards branding the Deep End as a brand that embraces exploring sounds. So on the back of that shirt that I gifted you, actually, it says Explorer on it.
Thank you.
So we've been really developed. I mean, it's been, a few years. I don't know. Like things change, and I want to be able to
keep it open, not just say like, oh, it's just for the underground, or just for this genre or whatever. Yeah. Especially like with the battle between EDM and underground. I mean, what's it all about? I mean, is it
There's
all
a battle.
really just there's always that battle. Isn't it all the same at the end of the day? It's all electronic music, or maybe it's just labels to make people feel special. I mean, what's your opinion?
So I mean, labels are the same thing as a brand, and brands can attach themselves to certain genres to help kind of stamp their brand as something like electro or bass music or deep house. So you're kind of like tagging on to something that has a bigger reach. So
you don't use EDM as an umbrella term.
I don't mind EDM as a word.
Mm-hmm.
I think
there's
that
like a lot of negative connotation behind it. I think it's just because of the mainstream aspect of it.
the mainstream aspect of it. How?
Yeah, basically how the mainstream aspect of, for example, EDC, even though there's nothing wrong, in my opinion, because I also have been a big raver for a big chunk of my life. But it's just the connotation between like people that go there to just get messed up and don't even care about the music.
I think that there's good and bad to be found in something that is that massive. Because it's, I mean, there's no way you can control all the feelings and people that are putting into something that has 150,000 people come to it. It's EDM, but under that umbrella, I think that you have some really forward-pushing, ridiculously creative and new types of sounds. And then on the flip side, you have the commercial garbage that is garbage.
Yeah.
And I saw
There's
both
no
of it
doubt
on the
about it.
YouTube. But at the same time, music is more accessible than ever. So that means that artists, like there's now a electronic music or EDM formula to be a DJ brand.
Yeah.
And it's a proven fact. And you can throw money at stuff and you can make a certain sound and
You just put a
have
bucket on your head and make some tunes.
Make some chicken and have some money. But I mean, at the same time, it's the consumers that decide that. So just like there's shit movie or sucky movies that come out, or there's
Yeah, I mean, someone out there likes it, so good for them, right? So,
Yes.
okay, I want to know, how do you manage to keep your brand, the Deep End, relevant with all these other house music events that are happening?
collaboration for sure.
Okay.
So we try to collaborate as much as possible. I don't know. Relevant? What relevant to who?
To just the San Diego people.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, you answered. You said collaboration.
Yeah, I'd like to be more relevant, I guess.
Okay.
I think that having strong people, talented people that are able to do the A to Z type things of producing an event really helps you be able to focus on bigger picture things, maybe doing bigger productions. And that's difficult in that's the biggest difference I see in today's kind of event production community and one of 5 or 10 years ago. The barriers to access are quite low. You can open a Facebook page, you do a logo, and you say your name, and then you pick you and your friend to be the DJs, and then boom, you're a company. You stamp it on all the flyers. But what is unfortunate is to see a stunted growth from a lot of passionate people that have passion, they have determination, they have creativity, but they might not have the business acumen or experience to actually grow and scale. And I mean, I don't either. I'm working on it.
We're all learning, right?
Yeah. So I would like to see more real collaboration. As far as brands go, I mean, I'm honestly less interested in that, more interested in scaling and growing.
And speaking of growing, I want to talk about West Coast Weekender. What's the story behind the
I thought you were
brand?
going to talk about my hair. West Coast Weekender is a great project, growing on 5 years, learning a lot. I mean, it's the same thing with the Deep End, being able to pivot and be creative and also
provide the space for people.
Provide the space, but also, I mean, my general thought right now on West Coast Weekender brand is I want it to be. I feel like we're not making it as accessible as possible, and I feel that there's a disconnect with um, the urban demographic, and I don't know how to connect. I haven't been able to connect those dots yet, but I know that the people of color and women and people of just basically non-white men
Yeah,
is totally under.
and I mean, this brand is led mostly by minorities, and I know that
True.
you guys make an effort to be diverse and inclusive. And how do you go about choosing artists that have that balance between new artists and local and big name and female?
Well,
It's hard work.
listening a lot. I mean, it's a collaborative effort. So I'm the talent buyer, but that doesn't mean that I do it all by myself by any means. Everyone has everyone has relationships with local DJs and regional DJs, and I think we start with that as a base. So there's a trust factor, in getting to know someone and knowing that they do great work and that they're great to work with, because it's difficult to try to do something that big with someone brand new that you haven't had any experience in working on a day-to-day type of creative project together. Because what's on a flyer is just the base of what actually goes behind producing an event. So having that trust in the people that have been working with us for, prior. And then as far as the headline, I mean, the gender and race thing, I mean, it can be better, but I wouldn't make an excuse, but I just know how difficult it is to curate a lineup with timing and availabilities and
Yeah,
all
of
the
course.
different factors. And there is no excuse except that I know that we can be better.
And what changes would you make for next year's West Coast Weekender?
Make it more accessible, I think, price-wise. But to pair with that, you have to, like talent fees in today's EDM world are crazy. They really make it difficult for a small promoter to run a viable business. So we have to take a real hard look at that and decide what our brand what our ultimate message wants to send out. Having a big name artist feels good. I don't know why. Maybe because of ego.
Yeah.
I know a lot of DJs that don't cost $20 to $40 to $50 to plus $1,000 that play really good music. But I think that it's an education thing for the consumer. So if the consumer is open to paying $20 for a ticket and just seeing, the locals get down and play music just like the Soleil guys did, or Deep End guys, or what Rufio was doing with his and Tomas is doing with their Rock the Discotheque brand. I'm actually very inspired by that a little bit more than just throwing money at a big artist. I think you need a middle ground, and it's easier said than done for sure.
Yeah. But I'm sure you'll find a way, all of you together.
Oh, we're gonna find a way. Yeah.
You're also the general manager and partner of Quartyard, an outdoor special event space, live concert venue, beer garden, dog park, cafe, art space, and
Are
eatery.
you reading the website?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
You have it all, and it's pretty much like everything you like. I know you like beer. I know you got a dog and art. So how did your team come up with this concept?
I actually rode the shirt tail, or however you would say it, on that one. But actually, it's a testament to doing good work and being great to work with, because that connection came from an intern that I had, Kiana, that was working at Quartyard, and they had a need for something that I was doing, curating events, creating creating an event that people would want to come to, and doing it fiscally responsibly. And I was pivoting away from the event vibe type of stuff, and it kind of was just this. I was definitely in a really tough time of not having a job or a direction for a good 6 to 8 months. Excuse me, but that opportunity came, and I just jumped at it. And from just being a consultant for a couple months, turned into being the talent buyer turned into being the general manager, turned into being a partner.
That's awesome.
So I was a little crazy, but it was definitely something that, and then I was able to bring on, Nico and have Eric DJ and Oscar DJ and Chris DJ, and like and we're doing the Sunday thing with all of our friends.
All the homies.
Yeah.
That's really cool. You're doing great things. And I want to talk about your most recent project, which is Daybreaker. What influenced you to get involved with this brand?
Yeah, the opportunity to be different and learn new things.
And for you that don't know about Daybreaker, do you want to just briefly tell
Daybreaker
people?
is a morning movement where
You read the website?
in 23 cities around the world. I mean, they're just the people that produce Daybreaker and Rada and Eli and Tim and their whole team is just, that's a perfect example of scaling something that was a really cool and new idea, and they brought on collaborators. They basically found people that aligned with their visions in each city, and me in San Diego, and they made them producers and partners. And the reason they were able to do that is, one, I mean, they do great work and they're great to work with, and two, they have something that differentiated from the normal club experience. And I didn't, I wanted to be more health conscious. I wanted to give back to a community that I've seen in pain because of alcoholism and drug abuse and suicide and depression. And, the entertainment industry can be a very dark place sometimes.
Yes.
And
100%.
to be able to be a catalyst, to even give the opportunity for people to come together and not drink alcohol and dance was something that really inspired me. And I actually took that position when Quartyard 2, when we were reopening the spot, was like, we were facing a lot of construction woes. We weren't open on time. So I was just kind of like sitting idle, and like I answered this Instagram call to action, and I started talking to the owners and founders of Daybreaker, and then I flew out there, and then boom, they asked me to be a producer. Definitely, it hasn't been as easy as I thought it was. I thought a lot more people would be a lot more open to it, but we're getting there.
Do you think it's the concept of like partying sober, or is it like waking up early? Because do you think it's possible to party sober anywhere else? Like, what are your thoughts on the alcohol and substance abuse in our scene? Is there anything that we should be doing as a community to help the people around us, or is it just
Yeah. Dialogue for sure. First, talking about it, being able to not just post something on Facebook. I don't want to misquote the quote, but in Daybreaker they say that a large percentage of people, especially our generation, they experience loneliness, and they use social media as a crutch for connection, but it's not real connection.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
So that's a problem. We have people growing up today that can't look you like in the eyes and have and have a dialogue. They don't want to. You don't have to anymore. You can just text people.
it.
Yeah.
And speaking of mental health, with all the roles that you manage in your life, how do you take care of your own mental health?
Very carefully. What do you mean?
Yeah, like what do you do? Like what are like how do you de-stress?
You got to go to the gym.
Okay, that's a good way to let off some
doing
steam.
active things. I'm not going to say hiking because everyone's
I don't like hiking either.
But I guess it's just balance. And I fall off the train all the time.
Do you have a good support system?
I don't know. It's a good question. It's a pretty deep question. Do I have a good support system? Yes, I think so.
Good.
But I guess it's like that goes back to if you don't know how to ask for help, then you can't even identify people to ask for help. Like there's a couple steps I feel like you have to be comfortable with to identify that you have a sad feeling and you're still doing things that kind of like are supposed to spread fun. And that's kind of I talk to my friends about this a lot, but like doing events and being part of music, it's a high risk. Like you're like playing with fire basically. Like it's not you're sit at a desk and just plug away at the computer. It's there's a lot of
emotional labor.
True. Yes. And it can be tolling.
It's true. Oh my God, I had like a lot more questions, but we're not gonna have any time to play any music, so we're gonna play a couple more songs and then come back. Is that cool?
With me?
Yeah.
Which song are you gonna play?
Let's see.
KCR College Radio.
The next one was "Make It Better." What do you?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
You want to play that?
Yeah.
Oh wait, it was "Rinse and Repeat." Actually,
No, don't do that one.
No, okay. "Make It Better," and we'll be back in a little bit, yo. Ooh.
How do you mend when your world's apart? Ooh, carry on. Ooh, from the start. Somehow we fell in love, then fell right out of touch. And ooh, that was hard. But ooh, here we are. And it's easier to walk away than to look for what would make you stay. Remember when we first met? We were having so much fun. So now how could we both forget? Telling each other we're the one. We would make love at the drop of a hat. Remember that? Yeah. I remember you and me, close as any two can be. Now we're strangers in the night, awkward and uptight. Oh baby, do you wanna make it better? Do you wanna stay together? Hey, if you do, then let's please make some new memories. When you take somebody for your own, it can't survive on history alone. Yeah. Meet me at the hotel motel, though we got a room at home. Go to a place that we don't know so well. It'd be nice, add a little spice, try some new seduction, show each other how, give each other new instructions on what makes us feel good now. I just wanna make you feel good now. Feel good, don't it? Come on. Do you wanna make it better? Wanna make it right? Come on. Do you wanna stay together? I meant when I said it. And it's easier to run away than to look for what would make you stay. Do you wanna make it better? Do you
chill vibes. I love the chillness.
And we're back.
You're incredible. Okay, Justin.
Yep.
What is the most rewarding thing about everything that you do in the music industry?
What's the most rewarding thing?
Yeah. The first thing that pops into your head.
Giving other people opportunities to work in the industry.
Beautiful. What are your thoughts on San Diego's electronic music scene?
That's a pretty general question.
Yeah, well, you gotta answer it because you're in.
I feel like it's. I think people are thinking too small, and I feel like ego plays a large part for a very, I think, small piece of the pie. People should try to collaborate to do bigger things.
Is that what the part that needs improvement?
Improvement? I mean, volume and size. It impresses people that don't know about what you're doing. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So if you keep doing, say you're doing 300, 400 person shows, 300, 400 person shows, and you're not able to collaborate with a group and double that or triple that, then how do we expect new people outside of the city or inside of the city to take notice? You're just kind of staying stuck in your little bubble and then scratching at each other. I want to get past that. And I want to work with people that want to get past that.
Yeah. And you will. You're already doing all these great things.
Whoever's
listening right now, if you let go of your ego,
serious.
you might be able to work with Jane.
Someone's going to call me. Don't say that.
All right. Is there a quote that you live by?
Yes.
Which is?
Aside from love, the most powerful gift one can give is labor. James Corbell said that.
All right. I can see it because you're such a hard worker. And what does the future hold for Justin Navalle?
Like this week?
Just in general.
The future, I mean, yeah, it goes back to like volume and being able to grow my business, but with people that share the same cultural values as me, and to be able to do larger event experiences, and I don't know, that's it.
Awesome. Any last shout outs before we go, or anything else that you want to say to the world?
Last shout outs, I would say hi to everyone. Let's see here. House to ourselves and Miguel. And that's it. Chris and Michael.
Cool. What song
and
do you want to
Scarlett.
end with? Nada, no
And
stress.
my mom.
Yeah. Hi, Mom.
What songs are there?
So, Nada, no stress. And that's it. Because
Pups. You didn't get Pups?
that one's explicit. I can't play.
What's No Stress? Who's that by?
Tycho.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
Okay, cool.
Tycho just dropped a new album. I don't know.
All right. Awesome. Thanks to all of you who are currently listening or watching the show.
Did we get more than 10?
Yeah, I think so.
Sick.
Hey,
KCR
you're
College
popping.
Radio, the award-winning sound of state.
I appreciate the support. I'll be uploading everything on my YouTube channel in the next days. Have a great night, everyone. See you all next Thursday. And check out the Deep End.
And make sure to go to Rich's and
Yeah.
pop your Jello shots.
Yeah, you already know. Bring your dollars. Bye.
Oh, we should have gave your dad a plug.
Oh, hey, shout out to my dad.
Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesdays.
If it doesn't work the first time, don't stress, don't stress. If it doesn't make you feel right, don't guess, don't guess. Cause we're too young, some of us already gone, yeah. Feel the rain and the sunshine on, no stress, no stress. I know there's a little time left for me right now. Left for me right now. It's no wonder at all. Everything around us turned to gold, yeah. It turned to gold, yeah.